Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Hello!
It's good to see everyone again. We're GeekGirlCon. If you're new here, thanks for showing up. Today we're talking about our favorite anime and manga. We're starting a new thing in 2022 where we are going to be working with themed months. And this month, our first month of 2022, is going to be anime and manga themed. So check out our schedule afterwards. We've got a couple of events up listed. But it's going to be a whole month where we celebrate anime and all the great things that it has done for us. TV shows, manga, artwork, video games, all kinds of stuff. So definitely get ready for that. But right now, we're just going to talk about some of our favorites. So let's do some quick intros. First off, just say your name, what you do at GeekGirlCon, and your pronouns. And also, thanks for the resub, Sir Matt. Sorry, I saw that just pop up there. I'll go first. My name is Alyssa. I go by Alyssa Prime on the Twitch team. And my pronouns are she, her. I'm going to pop it over to my neighbor here, Anabel.
Hi, I'm Anabel. I'm Director of Digital Experiences at GeekGirlCon. My pronouns are she, her, and this is Daxter. He says hi.
Oh, I'll go next in this counterclockwise-ness. I am Tina Burns. I'm the social media manager for GeekGirlCon, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hey. And I am Christina, and I am also Twitch team, and my pronouns are she, they.
I'm Marina. I'm the panel program manager, and my pronouns are she, her.
Awesome. And welcome, Marina. First time on the stream team. We're so excited to have you here. Yay!
Thanks for having me.
We just got a gifted tier sub. Thank you for that, Sir Matt, sir. Starting off our year right, everyone.
Yeah.
Thanks for the love. Yeah.
Sir Matt, sir wants to get on top of those charts early.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Everybody else better start getting in on that.
That's right, New Year's
resolutions.
Yeah.
We will accept that. So to start things off, we're going to do kind of a fun intro question. And definitely for folks in chat, let us know your answers as well, because this is kind of fun. If you were to go on a road trip, which anime characters would you...
Everybody just started donating things.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Head turn!
Sorry,
I don't really know what
interrupted.
it means, but... Oh!
There's so many.
Yeah, we've earned an exclusive emote, it looks like.
Nice.
Amazing.
Pirate Reject, do the jump. You guys are amazing.
Yes, you are. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Hearts.
No.
Okay, on to the question, though, because y'all are going to want to play this game. It's really fun.
Yeah.
If you were to go on a road trip, which anime characters or characters from anime or your favorite manga would you want to have on the road trip with you? Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll jump in.
Yeah.
I thought about this one, and I'm gonna go with Ein from Cowboy Bebop, because he's a wonderful fluffy dog that is smart, and I'm sure he would be a very polite and very fun traveling companion.
That would be a great traveling companion. A little distracting.
Yeah, I suppose.
All right, who's next?
I'll jump in and say this is a classic, but I don't know if anybody knows Tokyo Babylon. It was like the precursor to the anime X. Yay! I see clapping. But Hokuto and Subaru Sumeragi, they're just like opposites twins. Like you got the serious one with Subaru, you got the fun one with Hokuto, and they exercise demons. So I feel like you get the best of both worlds, and we get to have fun demon adventures. So I'm like, best road trip ever.
That sounds wonderful.
Nice.
I'll go next. I thought about this question a lot and had a hard time choosing people, because I'm like, I want to have fun, but I want, I don't want to be annoyed. So I picked the crew from Skate the Infinity because they go on a trip in the anime and they have a lot of fun. And I feel like I would have a really good time and also like get to hang out at the beach and chill a lot. So
that sounds wonderful.
Solid.
I think I would pick accumulation from the shows that I've watched, and most of my stuff has been recent anime, so probably the full crew from Demon Slayer, because those guys are great. And if you've ever seen the anime, shoot, I'm gonna have to look at my list. It was something about a mummy, how to train a mummy, how to keep a mummy. The cute little mummy guy comes with you, and he's adorable. And then maybe Yami from Black Clover. He's just always grouchy, but I still like him. He's one of my favorite characters. That's my crew.
Who's next? Wait, am I the only one?
You. I think you're next.
Okay. I'm doing a great job moderating so far. So I actually have like similar answers to everyone, where I was thinking like I want it to be really chill, and a lot of like main anime characters are like a little bit too much for a road, like a chill road trip. So I was thinking Tanjiro from Demon Slayer, because he's just the best boy and would be super helpful and kind. Winry from Full Metal Alchemist, in case we have any car trouble, she would definitely be able to fix all the cars. And then along the same lines as Christina, all of the ninja dogs from Kakashi's ninja dogs from Naruto, because dogs.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's my crew. All right, let's see what chat said. Gazzy says Black Butler. Ein is perfection. Do the jump. Yes, we all agree. Corgis.
How to keep a mummy. Yeah.
If only Janae was here for the corgi vote.
Yeah.
Vash the Stampede would be fun. Yes.
See, I avoided characters like Vash and other main characters just because they're all, I thought about so many of the animes I watched them, like they're all unhinged. Like I have no idea what they would do on a road trip. I'm kind of scared of that.
Yeah. Oh, you know who would be a good addition is Speed Racer, because then you wouldn't have to drive.
I think that's why you bring Black Butler too.
Oh,
Somebody else does things. Somebody else does things for you.
Yeah. Okay. Smart.
That does make sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Volumnia says a lot of protagonists are teenagers. No, thank you on that. Like, fair, very fair. Also, they can't drive. Not very helpful. On
usually not. Yeah.
Well, keep letting us know who you'd take on your anime road trip. We're going to go ahead and move on to our next question, which is just a little bit of history about where we all come from and what our anime backgrounds are. So the question really just is, what is your history with anime and manga? Who wants to take this one first?
This is where we introduce ourselves.
Okay, yeah, go, please. Yeah. I was going to say, I went last time.
I'll go first. For me, I was introduced to it through my kids. I have two boys, men now, grown men. But my oldest, one day, so he would watch it, and I didn't really pay attention to it. What he was watching, as long as it was not, crazy. But he was laughing like I'd never heard him laugh before, just nonstop. Full belly, he's just having a great time, and I'm like knocking on his door going, what's happening right now? What kind of party are you having? And he was laughing at an anime. He didn't really want to tell me what it was, and I was like, okay, I just want to make sure all things were good up here. Well, later he told me that it was the first one that I watched too, because I was like, why is this so funny? It's called Kiss Him Not Me, and he was trying to tell me about the story of it. So I was like, well, I'll just watch it. That's cool. We'll see what's going on. It is hilarious. And I totally get why he was laughing so much. So that was my first experience. And then I was just wanting to devour anything else he'd ever watched. I chose not to watch a couple other things that he like Attack on the Titans. That wasn't really my style, but I was like, show me more of this. Show me more of this funny and emotional and just very heartfelt. So that was my first experience. So it's only been probably the last 10 years, 10 or 11 years that I've been watching anime.
Cool.
That's awesome. I love the family aspect of it.
Well, what's funny is my youngest son was like, I'm not watching anime. It's so dumb. And then now when he was a senior in high school, suddenly it was really cool. So now he's like sending me things like, Mom, have you watched this yet? Why haven't you watched this yet? Can you watch this, please? And I'm like, okay, I only have so much time. So yeah, it's at least the three of us, the two boys and me, we all watch.
Nice. So. That's awesome. Love that. All right, who wants to go next?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a long history with anime. I started watching anime and reading manga in middle school, in like the early mid 2000s. And I was obsessed. And I was super into anime and manga at pretty much like all of middle school and high school. So like Inuyasha, Toonami, like that was my time. So I like just getting into it. I think right when anime was starting to be really popular in the US. And then I kind of took a break from it in college. I was just super busy. I didn't know where to watch it. In like high school, I had a friend who like procured all of my illegal downloads for me. And
but she doesn't do anymore. Caveat.
No. It's all legal now. All legal. And kind of without her, I didn't really know like what was coming out, what was new, what I'd be interested in. So I stopped watching. But I still kept up on Clamp because I love their works. So like X is probably one of my favorite series of all time. So I always kept up to date on their stuff. And then once I graduated college, I was like, I could get into anime again. I have time. And then I played sports, and my friend had Crunchyroll, and I was living with him at the time, and Haikyuu was coming out, and I was like, oh, what's this? Everyone on Tumblr's talking about it. I want to know. And then I started watching Haikyuu, and it's been great. It's all downhill from there. I'm totally back into anime again. I've watched so much, back into reading manga. It's great. I love it.
Nice.
That's awesome. I think I had...
You made me feel real old.
Oh, no.
Then. You were like middle school, 2000s. I was like, ooh.
Even chat saying that, chat's like, no.
I know, I'm sorry.
So no, it's okay. I'm happy that there's a variety of people here.
Yeah.
Totally, right? Yeah. Yeah. I think I have a similar story to you, Marina, where I kind of got into anime around the same time. Like, Toonami was definitely my jam. Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon. What else did they have on there? Oh, Gundam Wing was one that really stuck with me. I was like, dang, this is not Hey Arnold.
Political drama in space.
Right? To this day, if I had a dream job, it would be Gundam pilot. But anyway.
Yes.
What's your favorite pilot?
Oh, I honestly can't remember. It's been way too long. So
I was definitely Oh, my dogs are being weird. Sorry about that. I have chihuahuas and they get opinionated over food. So my husband's nice. He just has like the stop and bark. Sorry.
But yeah, I never really did a deep dive into anime. I mostly kept in touch with like the mainstream stuff, like, you know, the really popular big titles. Like, of course, I'm watching Demon Slayer right now. So I'm really curious to hear what you all have to say and like the different suggestions that you have. So that's my quick story. Someone else go.
Nice.
Thanks for the
Yeah, thank you. So mine is sort of a mix of everybody's, I guess. I wasn't into it in like middle school. You know, I had it like I was aware of it peripherally. Got into high school, and then that's when I started dipping my toes in, and I was like, oh, I was like, I think the one that first I got into and like borrowed somebody's tapes or whatever it was at the time was Trigun. And so I got really into that and watched that whole thing. And then I think after high school, my now husband, then boyfriend, got me watching way more, and we started watching like Kenshin, and we started just kind of getting into all those. I remember I had like a really bad. I didn't know it was a bootleg at the time, but I had a really bad bootleg version of Wolf's Rain, which was hilarious because the subs were just very bad and it made no sense, but the anime was very pretty. And then I think from there, I just kind of expanded and I got into a few different varieties. And I think a lot of it's outdated for me now, but like, I still watch some now and again, but yeah, not as much as I did for a period of time there.
Oh, I'll go. I'll age myself. I got into anime 22 years ago when I was in middle school, and this was even before Toonami. And I got into it by accident. This is going to sound like a weird story, but it gets to the anime part. But like how if you're older and you had like old TVs with the bunny ears, and as a naughty kid, you want to try to get to the scrambled channels, not realizing what's on those adult channels. Well, thankfully, I didn't find anything inappropriate. I found out that some of those scrambled channels would play anime on Thursdays for a certain period of time, like 2 or 3 hours. And I was like, what are these cartoons are holding up for me on this secret channel? And after like a week or two of finagling the bunny ears, I finally got them taped up to a point where I can get, half static. Yeah, I had to watch my anime scrambled on this ancient TV. But it was older stuff like Soul Bianca Ova, Bubblegum Crisis, like the original one, Across. And I got hooked. And then back then it was called Japanimation. I'm going to totally sound like an old lady. Like back then I called it Japanimation. But it was so hard to find. And it definitely wasn't mainstream. Like it was something you were embarrassed to talk about. And it was like all the weird kids at school who got into anime. We had to go to Suncoast and spend $45 on a really crappy disc with crappy subs. And there wasn't a lot available. There was a tiny section, maybe a few t-shirts. And we had to go like to the shady BitTorrent sites to download it. But it was really what drew me into fan culture too, because it was so hard to find back then. That's kind of how I got crazy with the internet. And then when Toonami came out and it got more accessible, by then I was making like anime fan sites. Like I had one of the biggest Gundam Wing fan sites actually. It was like GundamWingFocus.net. And it just became a journey from there. So yeah, I just kind of went down this rabbit hole from back when I was a kid. And just remembering how difficult it was and expensive it was to get stuff. Like, this is going to sound so creepy, but when we were in high school, there was also like this little local anime store. And there was a guy in there and he tried to flirt with the girls there, but we got like free anime cards and stuff from him. So we just kind of dealt with it. But yeah, it was like this wild journey. And now we don't have to like be hit on by the creepy guy at the anime store. We can get stuff on Netflix. We can get stuff on Amazon. You can walk into any like a main store, like there's anime toys and like Fry's grocery store. It's surreal to me, like how much more accessible it is. And it's really exciting. So I just want to tell all the young kids, I'm not going to be like, I had to walk 20 miles in the snow to get my anime. I'm going to be like, I'm so happy. It's so accessible for you. And because it's been a while, actually, since I've gone into recent anime, I'm super coming to this panel for suggestions too. Because I kind of fell off it for a few years. But I got into some stuff recently like Demon Slayer. And I see a lot of cosplayers doing amazing cosplays. And that kind of is what getting me back into watching anime. So by all means, send me your recommendations. And now that you know I love Clamp, you can shoot me some recommendations for that stuff too. Yay. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that was a ramble.
No, that's awesome. That's great. And I love what you're saying about how it way more accessible. I mean, even in the last 10 years, it's become way, way easier to find and to watch new anime for relatively cheap. Like I was with Marina pirating some stuff back in the day, not gonna lie. Pretty sure I have a large external hard drive somewhere that's just full of like, I don't remember, like Naruto, I think.
I definitely have like Oron High School Host Club on a drive,
I had that too.
on a CD somewhere.
And it was before Crunchyroll. Like Crunchyroll is pretty up to date with coming out with stuff. Back then, we had to wait like months for the recent episode to come out, even with like a legit translation, maybe a year, a couple of years. So, but those fan sites, they were on it. They were like subbing and doing what they could overnight. So I don't know where all those people are, but if any of you are in chat who did all that like scanlation work or translation work for us poor people back then who could not get access to this content we desperately wanted to see what happened in the next episode, thank you for your contribution to fandom, because it helped make it mainstream and share a love of it, and here we are now.
That's such a good point.
I can tell you that fan subbers are still out there, but they are now subbing like J-dramas.
Yes, big time. K-dramas, J-dramas. Yeah, they're still there.
In 10
doing
years, come back
good
for
work.
the J and K dramas panel.
At least it's not as desperate. Like, even though we can save money, like, even though technically we can save money and not, you know, like, not doing Crunchyroll or whatever, like, it's relatively affordable and accessible versus how much money we had to spend back then to be legit. It's just so much more affordable now to stream. For the most part, we're not saying there aren't secret sites where you can find other content that isn't on the mainstream networks, but at least it isn't as bad as it used to be, where everything had to be pirated online, or you were limited to, I mean, not that it was bad. Toonami was fantastic. I loved all the content on Toonami, but the extension of what we can get right now, it's especially on mainstream services and stuff that's not just like family friendly, kid friendly for primetime showing, it's really cool.
Agreed.
You have to like worry about watching episodes, like getting the episode in the correct order.
That too, yeah.
Totally. All right, catching up on chat really quick. Salty Taro, first time chatter. Hi, Salty. Welcome to the channel. Says, man, Suncoast, that brings me back memories. I got so many cool Trigun and Tenchi Muyo figures from that store. Oh, that's
my God,
cool.
Tenchi Muyo.
I forgot. I literally completely forgot about Tenchi Muyo until today. That was definitely one of my jams back in the day. Let's see. Do the Jump says pirating anime was the whole reason I started learning how to use a computer. There we go. Like, tech industry. I don't know how to do the jump word, but maybe like tech industry. Workers out there got their start from pirating anime.
That's how I got into web design and like content management and graphic design, like from making those old dweeb fan sites and connecting with fans that way and sharing images that people would scan in. Like, it's kind of crazy, but it's really cool how fandoms driven us to a lot of the careers we're in today.
For sure. Let's see. Sir Master says, Bleach, Ichigo's dad can come on my road trip. Oh. And the humble shop owner, Urahara, well, that was his name, with the hat, of course.
Forgot about him, but yeah. Definitely.
Beast3Z, welcome to the channel. First time chat. Also, getting on the Urahara train. Very great character. All right.
Taryn also saying, I love how much classic anime has been added to streaming services.
Yes.
And totally agree. Oh, such a relief to be able to just look on your regular streaming service and be like, oh, hey, yeah, it is there.
Right?
And to the part where it's so mainstream, we're getting like live adaptations. Like, who would have thought we would have had like a Cowboy Bebop live action show? I actually liked it. Don't judge me. But,
I did
like,
too. I'm
thank you. What a cliffhanger, right?
I know. I was bummed. So to move on to our next question, what kind of anime genres do you gravitate towards? I think one of the things that when I talk to people who don't really know what anime is, they kind of have this idea of it being so much limited, more limited than it actually is. There are hundreds and hundreds of genres of anime. So which ones do you gravitate towards?
I know for me, like, there was a period in there where it was a lot of those sort of action themed, what are they, shonen type anime. And then I kind of, I guess, started moving towards other things, trying other things, funny ones. I think most recently when I do go back, I I either rewatch stuff, or I end up in cozy type anime, where it just has really good, warm, fuzzy vibes. I like that a lot. It might just be the era that we're in. That's just kind of the vibe.
Nice. Yeah, I love the, like, I think they call it the slice of life
Yes.
animes.
Yeah.
Those are delightful and something that I'm new to. So, who else? Tina.
I feel like animes.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm actually looking at a list because I don't know what they're called.
Oh,
so
good.
continue.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I feel like I go through stages. Like I went through my shonen stage, and then it's like reading books. Like sometimes you're in the mood for something different. So I go from shonen, a lot of shoujo when I was younger, especially like Cardcaptor Sakura was available, and Sailor Moon, and all these Ray Earth, Magic Knights Ray Earth. Just I loved all that magical girl stuff. And then I got into like my edgy teen phase with like Serial Experiments Lane or other like dark thriller anime. And now that I'm an adult, it's like accepting like I still like all those shows I watched when I was a kid. And I have no guilt if I go from like the horror anime to the shonen stuff to reverse harem. I mean, why not, you know?
I think my staple tends to be the comedy. My boys are always telling me to watch the adventure ones and the shonen or shonen. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah. The ones where the teenage boys are constantly screaming. That's pretty much that's what I call it. The screamy boy animes. But I don't know. I don't really like horror movies in general, but I did watch Parasite. And at first I thought, okay, this is not going to be something I want to watch. It was kind of gross and weird and creepy, but the story was so phenomenal. So if there's more horror anime like Parasite, I'll watch that. But mostly fun, cute, screamy boy ones.
I feel like I kind of go towards like polar opposite genres. I really like intense like political drama mecha anime. Like Iron-Blooded Orphans is one of my favorite series because it's like super intense and violent and full of drama and giant robots. But I also really like romance slice of life, especially like BL anime. That's probably my other favorite genre. And I think like Anabel, like I've gone through my phases in my anime viewing life. So I've definitely like had my magical girl phase, had like really intense like shonen anime phase, and now those like two genres are like my favorites, but kind of I'll like pick and choose things as they come out if they look interesting.
It's like if enough of my friends are interested, I'll check it out. Like Demon Slayer, I wouldn't have thought to like it. I'm like, it's just another shonen. But then my friends are like, you have to watch it. It's amazing. Nezuko's really great. And I loved it. Or when Yuri on Ice came out, like the fandom exploded and I watched it and it was so good and sweet and funny and all the things. So even at cons, even if I feel like, oh, I don't know what's up with the anime now, just glancing at booths, I'm like, oh, these series seem really popular. Like these fangirls are drawing these characters for a reason. I want to check it out now. So that's like my cheat sheet if I don't know what to watch.
If there's fan art of it at GeekGirlCon, I'm like, okay, I gotta go watch this anime.
Yes.
Perfect.
Awesome. So what are some of your go-to anime recommendations for people? And on top of that, are your recommendations the same thing that you would recommend to people who are new to anime, or do you have separate anime suggestions for them, for new folks?
My husband doesn't watch anime, so that became my personal challenge to find one he'd be interested in. One I found that worked pretty well was the Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, because I feel like there's been a lot of like vampire shows out, just in mainstream in general. So that was a good transitory one to show like, hey, you got like a vampire, a dramatic story, the similar tropes, but then you have this beautiful animation and perhaps some character designs and things you're not really familiar with because you haven't really been into anime. So that was a great one. Like he didn't hate it. It was pretty cool for an intro. And I have to think if I showed him any others, but it can be challenging. I feel like you don't want to be that annoying friend who's like, you have to get into anime, it's awesome. You have to find an interest that they have and find some content aligned to it that really syncs with them. Because I know when I was growing up, I had a bunch of dudes go, oh, you like anime, watch, like they would shove a disc in my face. And it was like really, like they had no idea what my interests were. They just wanted to show me their favorite, and that was it. So I try not to be that person where I just shove stuff at people just because I like it. I see what they like and I find something aligned to it, especially if it's available on Netflix or something. And just read the room. I think that helps too. If they don't seem into that, just kind of see what else they might be into, see what kind of serials they watch. And even though I don't think I could have gotten him to watch the Cowboy Bebop anime earlier, he loved the live action show, which shows me like, hey, now I know I can have him watch the anime or a few other series like that have like that space western kind of thing. So that's at least how I went, because that's the only case where I can think of somebody who just could not get into anime. This was kind of like a gateway for him.
My husband also doesn't watch anime, but he does watch all kinds of like live action shows that are essentially anime stories, like Into the Badlands on Netflix. I'm like literally almost
Basically.
Every single anime is like this show. Like it's just in cartoon form. Actually, we just finished watching The Witcher season 2, and then there's an anime movie about Vesemir, and I was like, oh, let's watch this. And he sat in the room and I made him watch it, and he was like into the story, and I was like, okay, this is my in. But also like Castlevania, I think is a good in for people who watch those kind of shows too. Like, hey, it's just because it's cartoon doesn't mean that it's, toony doesn't mean that it's inferior. In fact, a lot of times it's better. The other recommendation I have for my friends that aren't into anime is to start with the Studio Ghibli movies. Like, you watch Pixar, why not watch these? So those are my suggestions.
I love that suggestion. I think one of the things that intimidates me about starting any new anime, really, especially ones that have already like a large fan base or 100 episodes. Looking at you,
or more,
Piece, or more, like way more,
yeah,
100 seasons,
900 episodes.
Yeah, like that can be super intimidating, right? So
yeah.
Finding an in with like a 2-hour movie is a really good idea. I like that a lot.
Ghibli is a great idea too. That reminded me, the first one I had him watch was before Vampire Hunter D was Princess Mononoke, because even though I don't usually watch it dubbed, I mean there is mainstream actors doing the dub, because what was it, like Miramax or Disney or something did the dub, so that was pretty cool, and it's a solid movie to kind of start people with. I mean, Gillian Anderson is the Wolf Lady. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea, is just starting with something that's really accessible like that, because I think the Studio Ghibli is a really good one. I was thinking along the lines of like, you could always ease them in with some Western animation, because that's picking up in popularity quite a bit. You've got, if it's somebody who would like the vibe of like the She-Ra series or something like that, then you could potentially start them there if they're like really wary about anime. Otherwise, yeah, something that's maybe something a little outside the shonen genre might be good, because I know that can have some problematic elements. So I know that a lot of people I know now would probably be like, oh, I'm not sure. So maybe something outside that. But
yeah, usually my go-to recommendation is Yuri on Ice.
Yes,
because it's pretty short. It's like a short commitment. It has like a really solid like narrative arc, like kind of with like the competitions, and it has that like competitive sports element. So I feel like there's a little bit of something for everyone, and it has the kind of like zany humor that it is like kind of inherent to a lot of anime. So I feel like that's a pretty good intro to the genre, and that's also is just one of my personal favorites. So I'm always like, oh,
it's adorable.
Maybe I feel like this.
And I have watched that with people who've never watched anime before, and they're like, oh, this can be anime. I thought it was all like Naruto, or Pokemon. And the Studio Ghibli movies are also like a great place to start with recommending because, they're so popular. They're, Oscar award winning films. So they have that prestige and the dubs are really good. I am on record. I love the dubs.
Wait,
okay.
of the Ghibli movies or in general?
Of the Ghibli movies. And I have watched the Yuri on Ice dub, and it is good. I did like it.
Nice. That's good to hear. Sometimes they're not so good.
Sometimes you're sus.
Would you suggest getting into any like currently running series? Maybe like I would be very willing to like recommend Demon Slayer to people who are just starting out on anime because one, it's gorgeous, it looks amazing, the art is beautiful, but also it's like a very active community like right now, and so you can kind of share in that, because I think part of anime is the stories and the art and the amazing artistry, and part of it is also the community and how fun that can be. So would you suggest any ongoing series that people could maybe get caught up on really quickly and then kind of go on the journey with the rest of everyone who is already following along?
I'm looking at a list.
I don't personally know any of them right now. I'm not caught up. And I have to go watch Demon Slayer now that everyone here is like, I'm watching it, it's good. I'm like, okay.
I would say Jujutsu Kaisen is the one series that's going on right now that I am watching. I am only on episode 5. But it is really fun and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm really interested in seeing where this story is going, and I know that it has a super active fan base, and I'm excited to like get in and join it once I catch up and I know what the heck is happening.
Awesome.
I would agree with Demon Slayer. I think it's very approachable. It's not too over the top. There's not a million episodes that you have to kind of go through to get the story. I think Parasite is, again, it's kind of weird and horror-ish, but it was just such a beautiful story. If you can get over the weird grossness of it, would be one that easy to watch. I was just going to recommend another one. Sorry, I made a list.
No, we love lists.
We love lists. I love how organized you are.
Right?
The new... Well, I wanted to see how much of a noob I was for this. And then after my list, I was like, hey, I've watched a lot. The new show by, I can't remember who it is now, but Arcane on Netflix. I would consider this counting as anime, but that would also be something that would bring outsiders, essentially people new to anime, into kind of that field. But and I loved that series. That was really great too. So
yeah, I've heard really good things.
Seen some good fan art.
Love the fan art. All right, getting caught up in chat a little bit.
Agratsuko. I mean, that counts as anime, right?
Oh yeah, that's
totally.
true. Yeah.
so cute.
Yeah. Taryn mentioned Mob Psycho 100, 2 short, super impactful seasons, amazing OPs, heartwarming, hilarious story, felt very unique. I would agree with that. Yeah, that one was good. What else we got?
There were some Netflix sponsored ones, but I'm trying to remember the name.
Jojo, my son keeps trying to get me to watch that one, and this is what I like about recommendations. So if you're going to give me one, if I need to skip the first 9 episodes because they're boring and they don't really matter, tell me, because I'll skip the first 9. But if you really want me to watch a show, you need to tell me that, because I'm probably going to get into episode 3 and be like, I don't have the time for this. So yeah, so he says JoJo Bizarre Adventure. I guess I have to start at episode 10.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I love when people say that because I thought Demon Slayer started a little slow, like the training arc and a little bit of that before like all the characters came together. And my friends were like, just stick with it. It does pick up. And then I was really glad I did that to like episode 4 or 5. Like things really got rolling. And same with Castlevania. I feel like Castlevania didn't have the strongest start, So I'm glad people also gave me that disclaimer too. They're like, season 2 and beyond so much better. So, you know, but it's like any TV show. I've watched other like live action dramas and things, and a lot of them don't get their legs until the second season. So at least if you warn people with that, it helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Beast 3Z, A Lull in the Sea, short and sweet.
I know. I just wrote that down.
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Yep. Movie just came out for Demon Slayer 2. Yep. Mugen Train. I think it's
like an interim between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah. And I think one of like the most successful animated films of all time. Like, it's just made bonkers amounts of money. Okay. Next question for everybody. It's the name of the panel. What are your favorite anime or manga?
It's hard.
It's hard.
I'm sure you can have many. It's okay.
Okay, so
Here, while everybody thinks,
go ahead, please. If you have one right
I was because we put out this question on our GeekGirlCon Instagram, and I have a list here. So I'll list what you guys, the viewers, told our Instagram your favorites were, and while everybody thinks of their own. Okay, so Card Captor Sakura. Anybody? You guys familiar with that? I don't know what that one is.
That one's really
I
fun.
haven't watched it.
Deadly Sins and Naruto, Cowboy Bebop, Bleach, and Clannad, Clanaad.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Okay, that was the list from our viewers.
Nice. All right. Did that give y'all enough time?
I was going to. That's okay. You two can think a little bit more. I've got another one. I was thinking that I would use this as like an opportunity to plug one that I enjoyed a lot. That was just kind of outside of some people aren't really familiar with it, which is I don't know if I'm gonna get the pronunciation right, but Morbito. And it's basically just this really cool. Like she's this badass spear wielder who's like basically a bodyguard for this young prince, and she's trying to protect him, and they form this really cute relationship. And I just really enjoyed it, and it's kind of outside of, especially with a female protagonist, like warrior protagonist, who has sort of some of the masculine tropes about her personality and stuff. And it was kind of nice to see it a change of pace. So I really enjoyed that one.
That's awesome.
I really enjoyed the anime Run with the Wind. Aside from Yuri on Ice, I think that's probably one of my favorite series. And it's a sports anime about a running team, but unlike a lot of sports anime, it takes place in the college setting versus high school. So the characters are a little older. They have a little bit more baggage. It's slice of life, sports anime. It's based on a novel that I so badly wish I could read, but it's not translated. And it's like a light BL, so it's kind of, the anime isn't queer, but it's queer adjacent, and it's just so lovely. It has all of the found family feels. I love it.
Decided to dig back in. I can't think of a modern favorite because I have too many that kind of blur together. But I remember when I was talking about my old TV with the rabbit ears, I would also like videotape some of those anime. And I remember the one tape I burned out just watching too many times, and now I actually want to go find the disc again, was the Gunsmith Cats Ova. So it's about two female bounty hunters who run a gun shop, and stuff happens. And there's an awesome Russian assassin lady after them. And I think it was like a 3-episode series, but it was a lot of fun. And I just like the dynamic between them. The main character used guns, and her sidekick used like explosives and grenades. So it was really cool, and they had a cool car, and I really liked it.
Awesome. That sounds pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
What was it called again?
Gunsmith Cats?
of the DVD in my head from like seeing it at Blockbuster.
Nice. Yeah, I think I had the Suncoast DVD, but I had to sell a lot of my anime to like move states, like, you know, get some quick cash from the bookstore. And now, do you ever, any of you ever go to like, it used to be half.com, but now there's like, you know, eBay and sites. I'll like go and try to hunt down old art books or DVDs.
Oh.
Like I found the X movie really cheap, and I was so glad. And now it's like $100 to find. So whenever I go through my nostalgia bubbles, I try to hunt stuff down and get a cheaper copy of it before other people feel nostalgic and it goes back up in price. So definitely do regular eBay hunts for like your childhood, because it's so worth it. It really is. And there's also like used bookstores in Japan that'll ship over stuff here. So I've been taking advantage of that too in my retail therapy over the pandemic.
That's really smart. I hadn't thought about that.
Just remember, if you do buy Japan DVDs, we're in a different region.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Good call out.
It's mainly like the manga and books, and then I'll like get the secondhand DVDs from like Canada or the States.
Yeah.
How about you, Prime?
Oh gosh.
Yeah. You can't escape this.
I know, right? I was like, I'm going to moderate this one so I don't have to answer any of the questions. So I think my favorite anime movie of all time is Spirited Away. It like I remember seeing it for the first time and just being like, I didn't know animation could be like this. It just blew my mind. And then another anime that like kind of changed my perspective on what anime could even be is one called I think it's pronounced Barakamon. It's another slice of life. It's about this guy who kind of has like this breakdown. He's this famous calligrapher, and he gets some bad feedback and just kind of like snaps. And so his publisher or something sends him away to live in the Japanese countryside in this little tiny village. And it's a story about becoming inspired again and creating art and the found family thing in it. Like, it's just so freaking delightful. It just makes you feel good. So I think that would probably be up there on my top list.
What was the title again?
I think it's pronounced Barakamon.
Okay.
Yeah, it's super cute.
I'm going to be borrowing Tina's list that she's been making over there. So
Yep, you got it.
Maybe we should.
If any.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Prime.
I was just going to say maybe we should post a list of everything we said afterwards. Go ahead,
watch list. That'd be great.
Yeah,
we could like
right?
rate like this is for this age and this is this genre.
Yeah.
A lot of content.
Yes. That's a great idea.
I was gonna say anime movie that I really liked that I don't know if people have seen is Your Name.
It looks good. I see it on so many lists.
So good.
Brain tissues.
Yeah.
You're like, stop what you're doing and watch it.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. It's like, I would say it's one of the like most gorgeously animated films I've ever seen. Up there with Studio Ghibli, like in terms of like just beautiful animation.
Is that the body swapping one?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah. That was good.
And it's just really sweet, and I feel like it's just a good movie. Like, forget about anime. It's like just a good movie.
Yeah.
Like
that was good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that was gonna be my favorite movie suggestion. Was Your Name? It was stunning, absolutely stunning, and so, like I said, bring tissues. My favorite anime that I've ever seen is called The Ancient Magus Bride. Magus?
I've seen fan art for that. Yeah.
I had the opportunity to go to the first Crunchyroll Expo, and they did a like premiere at that, like a little clip of it, and I was like, okay, I'm totally gonna watch this. It is just visually stunning. The story's great. I don't think that they've done more than like one, maybe two seasons. I'll have to check back on Crunchyroll, but it's kind of, I think you have to have Crunchyroll to watch it. It's a beautiful, beautiful anime. And then I think my favorite fun one, I really enjoyed Black Clover. I know that the character Asta just like screams the entire time, but I just loved the fantasy of it and just all of the aspects of like everybody's magic and everybody's different. I think that's my favorite long-term series. So
awesome.
You know it's a good panel when you want to drop everything and watch all these things.
Right? All right, let's see what chat has to say. Salty Taro, no love for Berserk. Has anyone seen that?
My son loves that.
Berserk was so intense, though. I feel like I needed therapy after.
I was going to say, people specifically pointed me away from Berserk because they thought it might be not my cup of tea.
Well, I feel like if people can watch Game of Thrones, they could watch Berserk if they want, but more intense. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah. There's so many, there's no way we can watch it all. But that sounds interesting. I did like Game of Thrones until the end.
And Akira, Taryn, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Akira, I watched it when I was way too young, but I totally appreciate what that did for anime in general, that movie. Having to condense those giant like telephone volumes of manga that I would see in the comic store was impressive on its own, but man, that animation was so good. Good classic.
Gazzy says Sailor Moon, always and forever. It's a good one. That's another Toonami introduction, like one of the very first ones that I feel like were popular in the US, which was cool.
I feel like for those who like Sailor Moon, they should watch Utena.
Yeah. What was that one?
A Revolutionary Girl Utena? How do you say her name? It's been a while, but the art was so good. The story, so much drama. If you love drama and shoujo, and was it from the creator of Sailor Moon? I can't even remember, but that was a really good series.
But I second that. It is. And like awesome queer romance.
Yep, lots of queer romance. Yep.
Nice.
Revolutionary Girl Utena from Pirate Reject.
I was going to say
Pirate
that,
Reject, if you guys didn't know.
We're just reading you again.
I was typing it out in case I was saying it wrong, because it's been a while.
Salty Tara says, Akira was a huge favorite, and Wrath of the Ninja. Oh, that's cool.
I think I've heard of Wrath of the Ninja.
I don't think I've heard of that one either. Awesome. All right. Well, we are just about at time. Is there anything else we want to talk about anime-wise? I mean, we covered it all, right?
I feel like I'm going to mention one more, and it's just because of the month theme. The month theme is anime, and there is an anime that's pretty much about making anime, which is called Keep Your Hands Off Isaacin. And it's about these adorable, like, little girls, not little girls, I guess, but, you know, young girls and kids making an anime together and getting really passionate about it and, like, letting their imaginations go free. And I haven't seen the whole thing, but what I did see was very cute. So I felt like that was a good one to name drop while we were here.
Yeah,
I just saw that Way of the House Husbands available on Netflix, and I had no idea, so I know what I'm doing.
Oh,
have you seen those comics?
No.
Yeah,
I've been seeing a lot of that recently. It looks hilarious.
It's like what former Japanese mafia guy becomes a house husband, and he loves it, and people, it looks really funny.
Yeah, I was curious about that one. I saw that one come up on Netflix recommendations.
Yeah, it looks
anime that I saw the trailer for that's coming out on Netflix this year called Bubble. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what the story is, but the trailer looks really cool, and it has basically like everybody who's at the top of their various studios and like games is working on it. So this is a free repping for Netflix. Watch Bubble.
Oh, this looks good. I pulled up the trailer right now. I'm like, what?
Nice.
You said
it's post-apocalyptic.
Like Bubble?
Yeah, it's like post-apocalyptic sci-fi. I have no idea what else.
It's such a cute name, Bubbles. And then I open it up and it's like the world ended and there's bubbles. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's one of those anime.
Oh, we'll have to check that out. That sounds cool. Well, should we figure out who we're gonna raid tonight?
Yes.
Do it.
All right, let's take a look at who is on.
Oh, and congrats on 700 followers. GeekGirlCon. Thank you all.
Yes, thanks everyone. Thanks all of you for being here, watching
Oh.
us,
Thank
chatting
you all.
with us. So it looks like someone we haven't rated before, called Simile, I think it is on and playing The Sims 4. That could be cool.
That would be fun to watch.
Should we do that?
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Well, before we head out, thanks everybody for coming and chatting about some anime with us. I'm super excited to kick off this new month. Come back on Thursday. We're playing Battle Chef Brigade with Tina and Taryn. Tina, can you tell us a little bit about the game?
I know nothing about the game.
Oh.
Actually, Taryn is going to be playing the game. I am the commentary, I guess. It's Battleship Brigade. That's with knives.
You like collect like ingredients and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and like you
Okay.
like do competitive
she's
like cooking and
Is it
stuff.
like Cooking Mama?
Yeah,
I think it's like
I feel
an RPG meets Cooking Mama.
Okay.
Right? Like Cooking Mama, but you gotta fight for the ingredients.
I
that's
think I was
cool.
tagged because I like anime and I like cooking. So she's like, "Come talk with me." I'm like, "Yes, cool, I'm in." So yeah.
Awesome. So that's on Thursday, right back here at 7 o'clock Pacific time. And then following that on Tuesday, the following Tuesday, we're doing an origami workshop. So
Yes.
it's going to be great. Come back. We love you all. You ready for some rating?
Let's do it.
Go.
All right, here we go. I'm really bad at rating still, so I'm going to hit start raid, and I think it's going to be...
That's when you need a stream deck. We're going to have to like get you one.
Yeah, right?
Just
So-
hit the
we
button
go.
and magically raid.
No. It's mostly the transition I'm bad at. It's just gonna like cut off and then everyone's gonna be gone. Okay, there's a raid now button, so I think we're good to go. All right. We love everyone.
Have fun, everyone.
Have a great night.
Adios.
Thanks for being here. Goodbye.
Bye. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My face hurts from smiling.